Sup guys, Leon Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Was the Reincarnation of Noctis. This is part 11. In the last part, Izuku and alongside Kirishima, Kaminari, and Shoto all trained together, with Shoto still feeling unease about using One for All yet. However, with all the others trying to support him and saying that they'll always have his back. And as for Izuku going on a date and even promising Ochako that he wouldn't keep secrets from her anymore, and then him meeting the reincarnation of Arden, being Shinso. Well, with that said, let's get into this. After that encounter with Shinso, Izuku heads off to the cafeteria, with the others trailing behind him as well, as they all talk behind him. However, Izuku unable to hear all this, as Kirishima saying, "Hey guys, you sure that, Izuku's alright? He seemed still pretty pissed off." As Kaminari says, "Yeah, I can tell that, Ijiro. I mean, he's never seemed this pissed. More bored than anything, but never this pissed." As Shoto even nods, thinking there's something with him, especially when he saw that guy with the red hair and the hat from General Studies, right? As Ida thinks maybe he put one heck of a impression on Midoriya. I mean, he did seem like he was kind of condescending and arrogant, but given that he did meet Bakugo, it does make sense. However, he did seem like he was quite, confident in his abilities during the sports festival for some reason. Maybe his quirk, but even so, he could have gotten to first in Class 1A or Class 1B due to his quirk in the entry exam. So why now? As Ida thinks this to himself, as the three of them also think the same thing, with Ochako not even hearing them, but is more worried for Izuku, as she runs up to Izuku, wondering if he's alright, as he snaps out of it saying, yeah, I'm fine, I promise, you got nothing to worry about." As she's saying, telling me not to worry, makes me want to worry even more. "You promise you wouldn't hide anything from me, would you, Izuku?" As she gives off a little bit of puppy dog eyes, as Izuku gets a little bit embarrassed, begins blushing, saying, "Yeah, I did. I promise I wouldn't keep any secrets from you. I swear it." As he gives a smile to his girlfriend, trying to ease her mind a little bit. And soon after, All Might is in front of Izuku and Ochako, as saying, "I am here." As Izuku saying, "All Might, what are you doing here?" Is saying, "Well, I just came to see you, young Todoroki, and young Kaminari and Kirishima, and asked, would you all like to have lunch together?" As he holds a lunchbox in his hands, as Ochako sees this, saying, "Yo, so cute!" As Izuku was thinking, mostly because he just needed to think by himself, as Kaminari comes up with bringing Shoto along, and puts his arm around Izuku, saying, "Oh, we would love to, All Might. Isn't that right, guys?" As Shoto just nods, with Izuku saying, "What the heck are you doing, Denki?" As Kaminari says, "Come on, dude. You can have some time to think by yourself. I know that's what you were thinking, right?" As Izuku saying, "How the hell did you read my mind, you slacker?" As saying, "That's not important. Right, Ijiro?" As Kirishima says, "Sure, why not? I wouldn't mind." As All Might saying, "Alright, if that's the case, let's go." As all five of them head off to All Might's office. Soon, Ochako was thinking, why would All Might wanted to talk with them and have lunch with them? As Ida thinks, possibly because of what happened during the USJ attack, as all four of them did work well together even after being separated. Not only that, they did help defeat the Nomu a little bit with All Might. So it wouldn't make sense that he would take a liking to them. As Ochako thinks, yeah, you're probably right. As she began thinking that there's something more going on, as this is the Luna Freya in her thinking to herself, as she knows that as somebody who has kept secrets to protect the one she loves, she knows when people are also keeping secrets. She even knows that Izuku has been keeping the secret as well, but wants him to come out and say it. As all five of them are in All Might's office, and as they begin eating a little bit of lunch, Kirishima soon asks, "So, why did you want to talk with us, All Might? I mean, I expect you to want to talk to Shoto alone, but why all four of us?" As Izuku was about to say the same thing, as he says, "Yeah, Shoto is your successor, not us, so why?" As All Might says, "Well, because the three of you said that you would support him no matter what. And it only makes sense that you should be here alongside your friend." As Shoto saying, "I probably wouldn't be able to talk with All Might unless you guys were here, if I'm going to be honest. However, I would still try no matter what." As Izuku saying, "Well, look at you, Shoto, becoming more grown up." As Shoto saying, "Do you really want me to burn you or not?" As Izuku saying, "Okay, be cool." As All Might wanted to tell them about the sports festival, with Kirishima saying that they already know about it, with Aizawa basically telling them that it's the only way for them to get scouted out easily by pros. Soon, All Might chimed in saying that is true. However, for the simple piece, like young Todoroki here, it's more important than that. It's the only way for you to show yourself, to make a statement to the world that once you go pro, that you are going to become the number one hero, that you are here to protect everyone." As Shoto hears this, feeling like there's more weight on his shoulders now for the sports festival than just getting into a good agency. As Izuku thinks, well then, we just gotta help him out. Even so, that doesn't mean that we can't give it our all. As everyone in the room looks at Izuku, as he says, "Just because Shoto is being trained to become the next symbol of peace by you, All Might, doesn't mean we're not going to give it our all during the sports festival. We all need to show the world that we're going to become heroes." As Izuku gives off a smile, with the others giving off smiles too. As Kaminari says, "Well, even though I'm not as strong as all you guys, I'm still going to give it my all. No way in hell I'm going to get left behind." As Kirishima says, "Hell yeah, I'm going to show you that my will, the will of becoming a true man. I hope you don't mind me taking first place, Shoto." With Kirishima giving off that of a smug smile, as Shoto saying, "You're going to have to get past me first, Ijiro." As Shoto gets off a smile, saying, "You all have to get past me. Even though I haven't fully got the hang of One for All yet, I'll show that I can become a hero, no matter what, and worthy of this quirk, thanks to Izuku and All Might." After saying this, all four of them began giving each other fist bumps, with All Might saying, "Well, not just like I thought. Even if one of them had One for All, they still wouldn't feel like they're inferior to the other. Instead, they would give it their all to protect, support, and even rival one another. I'm glad that these four are able to stand with each other." As soon after, the day ends with everyone leaving the school. As for the week that they'll be training, Izuku, Kirishima, Kaminari, and Shoto, all four of them would train together for 3 days. And as for the other 3 days, they would spend training by themselves, developing their own techniques and skills, and strengths as well. starting with Kirishima, by himself with solo training, he would try to grow more muscle and get more stronger. So he would be able to use the giant sword that Izuku gave him as his support item for his hero costume. As for Kaminari, he would find a way to disperse his bolts and to try to control them easily, even finding a way to manipulate them before Izuku could find a way to make his true support items after all. As for Shoto, he would soon try to find a way to truly control One for All. He would still use basic strength training, just like All Might told him to do. However, as for his flames and ice, he would still develop them and develop new techniques and ways to use them more effectively together, after all. As for Izuku, he wants to figure out a way that the royal arms won't cause too much damage to his body, especially the ones he hasn't gotten used to yet, being the Mace of the Fearsome, the Star of the Rogue, and the Great Sword of the Tall as well. To help him train with these, royal arms, he would use one of his other royal arms, being the Scepter of Pluto, which allows him to create copies of the royal arms. These being, however, he would still lose energy, but he wouldn't take too much energy. Using the scepter, he would focus more on the Great Sword of the Tall. However, he would also focus on the Star of the Rogue as well. But still, the Mace of the Furious is still one of the only royal arms that he can't get a full hang of yet, even with the scepter helping him out a bit. With that, Izuku feels like he's ready for the sports festival as well. As for the last day goes by, it's time for the first year's UA Sports Festival, with everyone waiting in the waiting room for to be called out to the stadium, as Mineta feels quite nervous about being called out there, and with everyone staring at them, with a couple other people in Class 1A also being a little bit worried and nervous, as Ochako trying to pump herself up again as well. Seeing that actually helps Izuku not feel less anxious, seeing his girlfriend still trying to give it her all, even in this time of nervousness. Also, during this time, Shoto doesn't declare war on Izuku since they're close friends after all. So the intensity in the classroom, in the waiting room, doesn't spike up a little bit. However, there is a declaration of war coming now, as Izuku is trying to, get a little bit of sleep in, mostly because he didn't really get much sleep last night, mostly staying up playing video games. As Bakugo comes up to Izuku, as he's saying, "Hey, Deku!" As saying, seriously, Kachan? Really? After I'm just trying to get some sleep before they're called up? What the hell do you want? As saying, "Don't take me so lightly. What happened at the USJ was a fluke, and I accepted it." As saying, "Seriously? You're still on that? For Christ's sakes, let it," as saying, "Don't interrupt me! During this, I'll prove I'm better than you. And even you, Icy Hot, as well." As Shoto looks at his left hand and then his right hand, and also look at Izuku, as he's saying, "Well then, bring it on. I'm ready." As Bakugo saying, "What was that?" As Kirishima says, "Well, back up, guys. What's all this tension for, Bakugo? We're all classmates here." As Bakugo saying, "We're not friends. We're not here to make friends. We're here to become heroes and show everyone that we're better. Especially all those extras out there who think that they have a right to take our spot from this class. Don't you remember what that redhead said?" As Izuku's eyes began widening, which actually woke him up, remembering Shinso. With just the mention of him, even for a little bit, tenses Izuku up, pissing him off a little bit, as he knows who he really is, as he's saying to Bakugo, saying, "Oh, I'm not letting that happen. Not one bit." As Bakugo looks at Izuku, as there's nothing but rage in his eyes, as saying, "Like hell, I'll let somebody take my spot being in this class." As Izuku is enraged and fury is going off, as they can even feel the tensity coming off him. Even Ochako is still worried for Izuku. Soon after, Class 1A was called to come out to the stadium, as Izuku soon snapped out of it and says, "Alright everyone, let's head out." With that said, they soon leave the break room. Soon with them walking out of the entrance, everyone in the stands began cheering for Class 1A, as a couple people still feeling quite nervous after hearing many people cheering for them, as Izuku just didn't really bother a little bit. As soon after, for some reason, Izuku still feels a little bit tired, even after it being in quite a rage. I think it's mostly because he was in a small bit of rage that actually exhausted him even more. With all the other classes soon arriving as well, as they didn't really get much applause, unlike Class 1A and Class 1B. As soon after, Midnight soon announces herself to be this year's proctor for the first years of the UA Sports Festival. As soon, she even calls Izuku to come to the mic and give off a little speech, since he is Class 1A's, representative after getting the highest scores in the entrance exam. After hearing that, Bakugo gets really pissed, thinking that he should be up there instead, not Izuku. As Izuku soon gives off a little bit of a yawn, thinking that he's still pretty tired, as he soon rubs his eyes. Then he begins clearing his mouth, as he tells everyone this, saying, "I'm just going to say this once, and only once. I want to show the world that I can become a hero, and not just any hero, a hero that will protect everyone, a hero that will be there for even the littlest of things. I will become the hero, no, the leader that this hero society needs, and that's all." And soon many people were just shocked and actually stunned by Izuku's words, as his words were that of genuine, that he just wants to be a hero. With a couple people actually giving off a little bit of clapping for Izuku, as some of the students also clapping as well, but some of them feeling like Izuku feels like he's entitled or a little bit arrogant or stuff like that. However, that's far from what Izuku wants. He just wants to be the hero that everyone needs, the real symbol of peace. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, which helps out my channel a lot. Any rate, this is Mooky, signing out. Later.